Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to do a podcast video, one of a few videos we're going to do. We're going to touch specifically on cyber investigation and cyber crimes, the importance thereof. Joining me today is Jesse, one of our specialist investigators. Jesse, thank you for your time. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you. It's lovely
in the
to be here.
podcast. So if we touch on cybercrime, Jesse, lately, as we discussed last week also, there's a lot of news regarding hacking, cybercrimes taking place, especially in companies and the big companies.
And government companies.
And government companies,
government
yes.
entities.
There was a big company overseas that got hacked last week. They had to close their whole operations. Their system went down. So there's also different reasons why people hack companies. Even there's a ransom, or you take the company offline, take the company out of work, out of production.
Yeah.
Some people maybe just play around to do hacking, see if they can do it. But that specific company, they had to close the operations. The people had to do all the work manually.
Yeah.
They had to go so far, the people had to sleep in the office to at least just to be kind of operational.
Yeah.
And there's different methods how people attack companies and do the hacking. And one of the old methods, and I say old because it's normally one of the methods that always comes up, and that is your phishing method.
Yes.
This is one method that they use to hack the specific company.
Yeah.
And I think that's a method which is quite...
It's pretty common. It really is, because at the end of the day, most of the time, it generally comes through your work email. They'll try and pretend, oh, I'm the CEO, I'm someone very important, and I would like you to actually give me your phone number. And they try and build trust through different channels. So we'll go through the email, and then they message you through the WhatsApp, and they can build an entire portfolio just to get your password, and then they can infiltrate the entire system. Another very common way of trying, or not trying, but outdated systems, especially with big companies, is a big problem. If it's 7 or 8 years old, they can be subject to a breach. There's a saying that we really have is, if you're online, if your company is online, you're a target. And it's not necessarily a matter of if you're going to get breached. It's actually just a matter of when you will be breached. It's just a matter of how far you're going to go to prevent it, and how much can we recover, and how fast we can do it.
I think companies do give training, but I don't think that training is always number one of the training that they give. You give training maybe once a year, once every 5 years, and say, but my people did go through the training. They know what to do. They know what to click, not to click. But if it's not in your face every day, people don't concentrate on that.
No, they don't.
And if you get people getting emails from outside the company, people sending emails to their friends from outside the company, I think that also opens it up to be breached, and your system to be breached. People that goes onto Google at the workplace, and especially I think with the whole hybrid model where people are working from home, or people working in Wi-Fi cafes, that is also opens up for breaching.
Yes, definitely.
We did now a recent case for also a big company where you guys did the investigation where their systems was also hacked, and that was also a breach, and people looking at different sites, visiting different sites during working hours. So I think there's still a lot of learning and still a lot of work to be done in training, and to get the people to be vigilant inside the companies.
Definitely. Especially at Rix Forensica, we also definitely know a lot of people work from home these days, right? And your computer has become more central to the company than ever. If that computer gets breached, not only does it have access to your personal life, it also has access to the work and the company you work in, right? And a bit of a taboo topic is internal sabotage, where when you work from home, the manager's not over your shoulder, these people aren't over your shoulder, and you have to be extra vigilant as an entity to look after your employees for training on outside threats and internal threats, because it's so much easier to be an internal threat at home. Maybe someone at the office said something you didn't like, and they can just very easily leak that data to anywhere they feel they need to, and that's a threat as well.
And especially
we've also noticed.
Yeah, especially people working with companies' finances.
Yep.
That is a serious breach if people breach that system.
No, definitely. Especially in South Africa, especially the past couple of weeks, has been pretty bad with breaches.
Yes.
I think SAA got hit the other day.
That's correct, yeah.
And they've been offline for a long time ever since. And that's actually just the main convenience. And you mentioned it earlier. The main inconvenience is when you get breached, everything goes offline. And that's a cost value. And it could have been preventive by just a little bit more effort in the first place. the entity or company or NGO, whichever, the main amazing defense that you could do is get cyber guys in, the specialists in, to be on the ball when it comes to stopping the breach in the first place. It's basically plugging as many holes as possible. And it'll never be perfect. We're not asking for perfection, but we're just asking for effort. The minute you can do that, it'll help your employees. Because we've noticed when Risk Forensic comes in and we service a client, more often than not, they'll go, who was the guy that clicked the link?
Yes.
We want to know who did it, which employee did it, so we can point the finger, quote unquote, point the finger. That's okay, that's fine. Obviously, it takes both parties, the entity and the employee, to make a mistake. But we find that the best cause for prevention is just a little bit of effort from the entity. Once you do that and some training, you should be fine for a very long time.
Yeah, that's correct. It sounds simple, but it's not always
not.
that simple. So
and it costs money. That's the problem.
Yes.
People don't want to spend money. South Africans don't have a lot of money. But South Africa, unfortunately, has an ever-increasing cyber threat with never-increasing resilience to it. We seem to not be doing anything. And that's a problem.
Yeah, there's definitely still a lot of work to be done, especially in our country with cyber. Prevention as well as the investigation thereof. But Jesse, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate. I know you and your team is going to discuss a few other topics as well on prevention as such, as well as the investigation of cybercrime.
Yes.
But thank you very much. Looking forward to
Thank you,
the rest of the discussions.
Thank you.